Good evening and welcome. You're with the news first, your number one news provider. I'm Shamir Rasuldin.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Let's start off with the headlines.
A suspect killed in police shooting. Chairman of the Karulagasa Pradesh Sabha who assaulted an irrigation officer remanded. Paddy farmers in Kantale and Damula charged that they haven't received sufficient stocks of fertilizer. And also, Adli Mohammed Mansour sworn in as the interim leader of Egypt hours after Mohammed Mursi was overthrown after 1 year as the head of state.
Now, news in detail. The remains of the suspect who was shot dead in close proximity to the PMI siege in Colombo has been handed over to the next of kin. The suspect who died when he was shot by the police special task force has been identified as a resident of Maligawatha.
Police media spokesperson SP Buddhiga Sirwadana said the suspect who was taken into custody had attempted to strangle the driver of the jeep in which he was being transported in. He added that an STF officer had shot the suspect when he attempted to strangle the driver. The police added that a firearm which was in the possession of the suspect had been taken into police custody. The police media spokesperson noted that the shooting took place when the suspect was being taken to locate another firearm. The magisterial inquest into the death was conducted this afternoon. Later, the remains were taken to the office of the Colombo Judicial Medical Officer.
අපි ගෙදරට එන්නේ මෙයා අද ඊතම ආවලු ගෙදරට දෙකයි මාර ආවා සතු ඊට අපි දොරලා ආවා එළිය ආවා.
He arrived at our house at around 2:30 a.m. He opened the door and came in. He screamed at us to shut the door. His father went to see who was outside, but he was pushed aside. When we attempted to inquire into who they were, they shouted at us to get inside the house. The people who shouted were STF officers carrying pistols.
පිස්තල් ඔක්කොම කයි මේ ළඟ ඉදියා
මට දන්න තරමට එයා වැරදි කරුවා කියලා කවුරුත් කියන්න බෑ. ඒ තරම් මුළු වත්තේම එයාට ආදරේ.
According to my knowledge, he was not a wrongdoer. Everyone loves him. When a problem arises, it is his name that is reported. This is a crime. Even his brother was shot dead in a similar manner. No one knows who did it. They came on a bike and shot him. Now both the children are dead.
දන්නේ බයික් එකේ ගිහලා වෙඩි තියලා ගියා. එයාගේ මල්ලියා. ප්‍රේම ළම දෙන්නම නෑ.
Qadar Mohideen Muhammad Azmi was arrested when he had arrived at his house located in close proximity to the Bilal Mosque in Maligawatha this morning to see his wife. If they want to do something, then the area police is there. Why does the police act like robbers and arrest people at night? This is what happens. They take them away and kill them.
They claim the lives of two people. The government cannot take away lives. They take them away and kill them. When a person is arrested, that person should not be killed. They should be punished. If a person has committed a wrong, then persecute them. We do not object to this. No one has a right to take away the lives of people.
ඒ මනුස්සයා ජීවිතය උදුර ගන්න කාටවත් අයිතියක් නැහැ.
The STF officer who suffered injuries in the attempted strangulation was admitted to the Colombo National Hospital. Incidents of suspects dying while in police custody have been reported on a number of occasions in the recent past. On the 13th of August 2009, the remains of two individuals from the Angulana area who were in police custody were discovered in Lunava and Ratmalana. In August 2011, a suspect died while in the custody of the Dompe police. In May this year, a suspect who was taken into custody on charges of murdering a mother and raping her daughter in the Pitigala area died after falling off a precipice.
Well, it is reported that a suspect who is supposed to be an underworld criminal has been shot and killed. We have heard this story again and again. In my view, if you respect the legal system, the punishment can only be given by courts of law. And we cannot allow police to punish people. And if we are going to allow police to punish people, however serious a person offence it may be, then we don't have to have a court system.
Speaking at the 15th annual summit of the Ceylon Teachers Services Union, KD Lal Kantha expressed these views.
Everyone knows that most of the crimes in the country are committed by the police. It has come to a point where a person has to write his last will before being taken away by the police for questioning. Sometimes it is a body that is returned. Do you remember Thilina Jayasinghe? It has been 92 days since Thilina, who was a student of the German Technical Training Institute in Katubetha, was reported missing. Investigations are continuing. The police. What happened to Thilina?
You're with the news first. Let me tell you a story about what's happening elsewhere in the country. Farmers in Kantale and Dambulla charge that they have not received sufficient stocks of fertilizer. They charge that since 45 days have lapsed since paddy seeds were sown, the expected harvest can no longer be reaped.
Farmers lined up this morning as well at the Agbopura Agrarian Services Centre in Kantale with the hope of obtaining fertilizer. However, the farmers did not receive sufficient amounts of fertilizer to meet their requirements. The Assistant Commissioner held discussions with us and arrived at a decision to distribute 10,000 sacks of fertilizer among farmers in Kantale by Thursday. Only 2 lorries have arrived here. One lorry carried 500 sacks, while the other carried 470 sacks. Farmers also gathered at the Dambulla fertilizer warehouse by around 7 a.m. today in order to obtain fertilizer. By 9 a.m., a large number of farmers had gathered at the warehouse and each farmer received 2 sacks of fertilizer. I went to Galnava, Nagama and Tamuttegama in search of fertilizer, but I could not obtain any fertilizer. That is why I have been here since the morning to get some fertilizer. I received only 2 sacks of fertilizer, but I require 6. Incidentally, joining the press release program telecast on Sirius TV this morning, the Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture said there is no fertilizer shortage in the island.
Chairman of the Karula Gasweba Pradesha Sabha was arrested on charges of assaulting an assistant irrigation field officer has been remanded until the 9th of this month. The suspect chairman was remanded after being produced before the Putlam Magistrate Court this evening.
A complaint has been lodged against chairman of the Karula Gasweba Pradesha Sabha Neil Veerasinghe for allegedly assaulting an individual near the Thabbover reservoir at around 7 last night. A problem in releasing water from the reservoir had led to the assault. The aggrieved party is Supundi Sanaika, who is an assistant field officer of Department of Irrigation. Our correspondent said that when the suspect chairman was produced before court this evening, Putlam Additional District Judge Bharati Vijayaratne had inquired from the police whether the suspect was involved in any previous wrongdoings. According to our correspondent, the police had informed court that the suspect was involved in previous wrongdoings. Taking the facts into consideration, the additional district judge ordered for the suspect chairman to be remanded until the 9th of this month. The assistant field officer Supundi Sanayaka is currently receiving treatment at the Puttalam Base Hospital.
On several occasions, News First has reported on incidents where local government politicians who were elected by the people to resolve the problem of the people have abused their powers. These incidents were highlighted by News First this year and over past few years as well.
Obstructing police officers on duty. Chairman of the Mavanala Pradesh Sabha remanded. The murder of a British national and the assault of another foreigner at a holiday resort. Chairman of the Tangol Pradesh Sabha arrested. The murder of an individual. A ruling party councillor in Valigapula arrested. The murder of a mother and daughter in Kahawata. Allegations levelled at a local government politician. A 13-year-old girl molested. UPFA urban councillor in Tangol arrested. An underage girl raped. Chairman of the Akurasa Pradesh Sabha remanded. The assault of a manager of a Pradesh Sabha. Chairman of the Karola Gaswa Pradesh Sabha arrested. Obtaining bribes from an individual. Chairman of the Kaltra Pradesh Sabha arrested. The assault of an individual. Chairman of the Mavatakam Pradesh Sabha arrested. Attacking 2 houses and causing damage to property. Chairman of the Kulyapitiya Pradesh Sabha placed in remand custody. The murder of a monk. Deputy Mayor of the Muratua Municipal Council arrested. 2 police officers assaulted. Chairman of the Ambalipitia Pradesh Sabha remanded. Entering a school with a pole in hand and assaulting a teacher. UPFA councillor of the North Western Provincial Council arrested.